The truth is, I've been falling deeper in love with spirit and with nature and with my inside life. And if it's taken 59 years to get to this point, just in this span of existence that I've had, I'm so grateful to it. Today I was in an Arizona town, a northern Arizona town, and I just got this prompting in my mind to get in my car and drive out. And I was like, no, I want to like go over to Staples and look at computers. And that's how subtle spirit was. It doesn't nag at me. And I just, in my mind, I said, oh, I remember what Spirit said. Spirit said, go this way. So I started to drive out of town and I was headed out. And it didn't take long to get even just a couple miles out of town. And I realized how peaceful it was and how beautiful that stretch of road was. And there was nobody on that road. And the mountains and the earth, it was it was so settling in my being. I felt like this is what our souls need. We have to take time out and be able to feel ourselves, to feel our soul, to feel nature, to feel God, to feel spirit. And I just think that nature is designed, it's created to give us that perspective. And as the further I got outside of the city and the more I got into nature, the deeper I got into my sense of feeling who I really am. And I thought afterwards, I thought, boy, all the people back there in that town, which I'm going to have to return to, they're they're filled with all the busyness of life, and they don't get an opportunity to do this. A lot of people don't give themselves any opportunities. They stay in their squares or square homes, and they put on the televisions or the internet, and we miss that. I think that part of our craziness, our mental craziness, comes from we haven't honored that connection like the Indian brothers did, and they knew. And this is a sacred Indian area too, so I feel grateful. And I thought to myself, we should have 3 days off every week. Society and our culture should not just be Monday through Friday. We should have that third day. And you can do whatever you want on Saturday and Sunday, let's say. Okay, but Monday has to be something devotional. It can't be about more watching football or partying or drinking or just laying around. And yet finding a way as a culture and as a people, we could have that as inner day, whether that is your spirituality or connected with nature or loving family or doing something of the arts, something inward. I think that it would just create a much more sane and capable and connected society. So that's my thought today. And I'm trying to remember what I thought of the phrase of today when I was out there. And actually, I got to tell you, when I was laying around, when I went outside, I got out of the car. I was like 10 miles, 20 miles. How far are you going to go? The road could go on for a long time. And I just said, well, keep going. It's so beautiful. And I realized Spirit just whispered to me, man. It just whispered, said, go that way. And I could have just turned away. And yet, look what was waiting for me. What was waiting for me was beauty and love and connection and sanity and perspective. And all I had to do was really go with it and follow Spirit. So I got out of my car. I pulled, at some point, I decided to pull over. And I figured I was about 30 miles outside of town. I pulled over and I got out of my car. And I walked up this wash. And it was more of nature, except now I'm in it. I'm not just in this car. And something in me said, go ahead, lay down, dude. Just lay down right here on the dirt. And I looked around and I talked to the brother twig plants, the dried out plants that were right there. And there was room for me to lay down. And I just laid down and my body just rested in the earth. It was such a just... There was some cloud cover, and yet there was still blue sky, and it wasn't hot and it wasn't cold. And it was like nature just gave me this such a natural bed. And I just closed my eyes and I laid there for probably 30 minutes. It was so awesome. So I kind of felt like that was the relief for my soul. That was the way that I could let the soul out of the cage. And today that's what it did. Okay, thanks.